welcome back. My name is Steph from stephjking.com, coming to you from beautiful Brisbane, Australia. And today I'm going to be talking about how to remove negativity from your life. And this is a part of my Declutter and Simplify Your Life series. If you are new, then welcome to my channel. Recently, I have been going through and just absolutely decluttering my whole life, mostly my home. It's been crazy hectic, but it's been so good, and I am really close to the end of this journey for myself. So if you want to check out that series, I will leave a link in the description. I will leave a link in the description box for you to check out after this one, so you can follow along the journey with me. If you have been following along, then awesome. Today we are now talking about just negativity that surrounds us. So the last tip in the tips that I'm going to give you is probably the most powerful one, so make sure you stick around to the end. Anyway, let's jump straight into the first tip, and that is I actually have removed all types of news from my life. So tip number one, eliminate news. I find news, they just like grab hold of a story and they just twist and turn it and manipulate it because they want to sell their article or sell their piece of information. So a lot of the time it's really taken out of context, and you find that they actually only show you what they want to show you. And unfortunately, negative news is what actually sells because it's inflicting fear into people, and it's kind of like people just can't look away, that they need to kind of watch it. So I have completely eliminated that from my life. I personally don't like watching the news. I don't listen to the news, and I don't buy the newspaper or anything like that. And even I find on my social media, if I'm scrolling through and I find that maybe someone's sharing a lot of information or articles or videos that I don't really like, that just doesn't bring me any happiness or anything like that, I will, depending on the person, like who they are, I will either just remove them completely, or I will just silence them, so that a lot of the stuff that they are sharing and that kind of information that they're putting out there, it doesn't show up on my newsfeed, because I just want to protect my own energy. And to do that, I just need to eliminate anything that I find that really affects me. My second tip for you is to remove negative people. Now, this can happen, I guess, in different ways, or you've got different options here on how to remove them. And it really depends on who they are and what connection you have with that person. Maybe you feel that because they're a family member, you feel obligated to keep them in your life. That's absolutely okay if you need to do that. In some instances, you may want to remove them, and that's fine as well. Don't have the fear in you that you need to keep someone in your life just because they're related to you, because society tells you so. You just need to do what's right for you. Also, if you do want to keep them in your life, that's fine as well. And what I find is just if you just remove yourself from that situation or from that person a little bit more, that will kind of not reduce the energy or drain the energy out of you that you might find that you do when you are around them. But in saying that, I also want to be clear that sometimes we attract people into our life that help balance us out. So if you are attracting a lot of people into your life at the moment who seem to be very strong-willed, very strong-minded, and I guess are opinionated, maybe that's telling you that you need to really step up your game within yourself as well. Maybe you're just a little bit airy-fairy at the moment, or maybe you're just too much of a people pleaser and you're not sharing your true feelings about certain things. So what happens then is, because you are not balanced in that area of life, you will attract situations, attract people into your life that is going to help balance you out. So if you find that you do have a lot of people around you at the moment who are very opinionated and are very, outspoken, and you find it a little bit awkward, normally that means there's something within you that you need to figure out. So I think if you switch your thinking to that, you start to appreciate the people that are bringing more, I guess, challenge into your life, because it's actually helping you grow. My third tip is to delegate uninspired tasks. So I just want you to have a moment and take a mental note of everything that you do in your life that you just don't really like doing or is just not inspiring for you. So this could be cooking, cleaning, driving, anything really. Or even just when it comes to like a business, if you're trying to grow a business and, let's say YouTube, and you just don't like editing, delegate these things out to other people. I do it with my cooking and my cleaning. So I've tried my best to get into cooking. I've done all sorts of stuff. I've really tried my best the past couple of years, and sometimes I do enjoy cooking, but most of the time I don't, and other things in my life are more important to me and inspire me and I enjoy doing. So I just delegate the whole cooking and preparation of meals externally. I normally order prepared meals in so I don't have to worry about that. And I do the same thing with my cleaning. I don't mind keeping my house tidy and doing the odd deepish clean every now and then, but when it comes to like scrubbing showers and like getting in there and like, getting that elbow grease, just don't like it. So, and like I said, that stuff doesn't inspire me. It takes my focus off of things that does. So I just delegate that out. I get a cleaner in that comes in every now and then to do that really deep clean in my house for me. And I find by removing those uninspiring tasks and delegating them out to other people, it leaves more growth and more space and more room for those things that do inspire you. Now for my last tip, and probably the most important one, is you need to look within. So we've taken into consideration the external factors. Now we need to look internally. So considering how we think, the thoughts that we have, and also how we talk. So the language and the words that we're actually using in our day-to-day lives. I think this is probably the most important thing, because once you can actually really conquer your internal stuff, external factors just don't affect you as much anymore. So are you the type of person that has the intention of like speaking and acting with love and kindness? Or are you someone that is very judgmental towards yourself and also other people? Or maybe you have this mentality where whenever something goes wrong in your life, it's everyone else's fault, or it's something else is the reason for that problem. If that's the case, then, now's the time to really take back control and responsibility for yourself. You can't control anything around you that externally comes at you, but you can affect the way that you react and the way that you handle yourself. So if you are the type of person that has that like negative lens over everything, and such a cliche saying, but I'm going to use it, that whole glass empty, half full thing. If you're that person that sees it half empty and you just have that lens over everything in your life, then what I would like you to do is start a gratitude list. Maybe you want to do it twice a day, or maybe just once a day. Either way, by starting a gratitude list, you're going to start forcing yourself to see the good or the positive within that situation or within that person or just within life. And it may be challenging at the beginning, because if you're not used to searching for the good, then you're going to have to consciously think about doing that. So sitting down and writing out a list of things that you are grateful for, and it could be just the matter of like waking up this morning. That is a huge thing that we should be grateful for. Or it could be that the sun was shining today, or even that it rained today, which meant that your plants got watered. Or it could be your sight, or your hands, or your able body. And over time, you are just automatically going to do this. You're not going to have to sit down and just really think as hard. It's just going to come naturally to you. Now, if you are someone that just has a mind that races, that's constantly on the go, 100 miles an hour, then I highly suggest meditation. Because what I find is when your mind is going really quickly and constantly on, all sorts of things, it's jumping around continuously, it's either because you are worrying about something that's happened in the past, or you're stressing about something that could potentially happen in the future. Regardless, you have no control over either of those situations. So you just need to be in the moment, be present. And what I find really helps with that is learning and studying and continuously on a regular basis getting into meditation. And this doesn't have to be like for half an hour. That is great if you do want to do that, but you can just start off with like 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, but make it a regular habit. I love doing it in the morning because I find that when I do it in the morning, it just really sets that tone for me for the rest of the day. So yes, if your mind is racing, then just bring a little bit more calmness into it by meditating. And there is a really good app that I use called the Calm app. That is my personal favorite. I know there's a couple others out there, so choose the one that you just feel more connected to. And just a few final thoughts before I wrap this up is that negativity is actually defined by your perception. So what I mean by that is there could be two people that are in a situation or witness a situation that is exactly the same, but one person sees it as negative and the other person sees it as positive. That is because they have perceived that situation accordingly to them, to their values, to their thoughts, to their beliefs. So negativity doesn't actually officially exist. You just need to remember that everything that we as humans can be, we are. Everyone has everything. So what I mean by that is we are all happy and we are all sad. We are all motivated, we are all unmotivated. We are all inspired, we are all uninspired. It just is really determined by the situation. So in some situations, I'm extremely motivated, and then in others, I'm not. And you are exactly the same as well. It just really depends on the situation that makes you motivated or you feel motivation towards. So negativity, it's probably not about removing negativity from our life, because life isn't always sunshine and rainbows. I think it's just making sure that we understand that it's our perception that determines that. So maybe using the title removing negativity probably isn't the right term. I think it's more about reducing it based on our understanding of how we perceive and how we define negativity.